Good Friday, you guys, and welcome to our show. You guys, today we have a very special guest. We first came across one another at a gym back in California in 2018. She was one of our very first OGs as she joined our community in August 2019, if I believe, for the very first ever Raw. Since then, everything changed. She keeps on evolving onwards and upwards. She's very dear to Erin and myself and is an integral part of the mission. And we couldn't be more grateful to showcase her transformation journey today. Ashley Riddle, aka Cho, welcome to the show.
As I'm getting red. It's normal.
But you're doing so good with it. Like
yes, I'm working with it. I'm learning every day that, you know what, who cares what people think? Just talk.
Right.
So
you guys, write this down. Who cares what people think? So let's begin with this. You guys, today's conversation is going to be very raw. It's going to be very heartfelt. It's going to be very authentic. And, you know, what I love about conversations like this, when, you know, this is somebody that you know and whose transformation you see on a day-to-day basis, it allows you to relate, and it allows you to take the words of wisdom and see that, you know what, whatever you think that you're going through, a lot of times when we go through, you know, a hard time, we think that we're the only ones who are going through it, when the reality is that we are all experiencing the same thing. So let me ask you this. If you could use one word to describe your transformation journey, what would that be?
Continuous. Like, oof. It's just, it continues. Every day is a new day. And there's no point in dwelling on the past. It's just, yesterday happened, let's move forward, that kind of thing. I just have to, I do have my moments where I look back and I'm like, but I used to lift this much and I can only do this much right now. But every day is a new day, and I just stay in the present.
So, you know, let's go through that scenario when you're like, I could lift this much and now I can only lift this much. Like, what goes through your head? Because for anybody who's either been injured or, you know, if you're just getting older, which that's the reality of life. Like, you know, if you're 50, you can't lift the same amount that you lifted when you're 30. Mm-hmm. Like, even when you're 37. So, like, you know, let's say if you're about to, you know, pick up a barbell and you're to do a deadlift, and you knew what your all-time max was, and it's not nearly as much as it was back then. Like, what goes through your head?
That I don't want to injure myself. Honestly, my old deadlift was 305, and that was 5 years ago. You can't just come back into the gym and expect to lift that same amount 5 years later. So it's being patient with myself and working up to it. And I literally last week got to 200. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took me that long to go from 180 to 200 because I tend to like go too fast. I don't stop. I don't think. I don't. I want to lift it. Mm-hmm. You know. But I find that I joined a CrossFit gym once I moved here, just so that I could have the attention of the coach, and the form is what I'm more interested in, is working on my form, not just lifting the heaviest weight I can lift. It's working on my form, because in the long run, deadlifts are the one thing, like, you could really hurt yourself and be screwed forever. So I have to tell myself, you're not trying to kill yourself today. Just if you get 5 pounds over your last time, hey, it's a win. Like, just let it go and try next time. It's just not trying to rush myself. Sorry, the hands, it's a thing. Rushing myself.
You're talking to family here.
Yeah. Just rushing myself is one of my things that I have to be like, okay, now slow your roll. You're gonna hurt yourself. And then listening to the coaching and recovery, all that goes into play. So I remember when I did CrossFit the first time, it was all about vanity. I honestly was just trying to lose the weight. Wasn't training the inside, not working on the brain, not working on the mindset. The nutrition was, paleo. I mean, it was just like an excuse to eat bacon is literally all it was. Because I wasn't eating I was eating vegetables, but I was not eating as many vegetables as I eat now. Like it's literally 3 servings per meal, and it's made such a difference. I'm definitely noticing the change in the nutrition and the mindset that have really been the life changer for me.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about your transformation journey. But, if you're just jumping in, if Ashley could use one word to describe her transformation journey so far, it would be continuous. And I find that word to be very powerful. Okay. I feel like I've had the pleasure of experiencing what you've experienced, because we've been going beside one another, which has been an honor. What would you say, from what you can remember, were your most vivid growth moments between now and then?
The most vivid growth, I would say my confidence level has shot up through the roof. I mean, I'm here in front of the camera.
Yeah. But what do you think led to that? What was that moment that led to that increase, from what you've done?
Well, being led by great leaders, for one, coaches, you guys, telling us to lean in. That was a huge, I didn't do that before. I held everything in, and I was an emotional mess, before I met you guys. So, working through my emotions and learning to share even the uncomfortable. I mean, my love life literally exploded during Raw or after Raw, and it was a lot,
Yeah. So what happened in that moment? Because I would say that was a big growth moment for you.
It was saying no. I had a hard time saying no, and I would put up with things that I internally knew were not to my liking. I just went with the flow. And it got to a point where you surround yourself with people that you want to be a certain way, but yet you have someone holding you back. And at some point I was just like, what am I doing? And I cut all ties with what I felt was holding me back. Once I got rid of the issue, that's when I really started to grow. And I feel like I just had nothing holding me back. The environment that I was in, I grew up in California, and it's where I grew up. I knew everything, I knew everybody, and I didn't feel like I was going anywhere. And so, I mean, I didn't have anything holding me back. So, as time went on and I joined the team here, I'm just so happy now. I moved, I sold all my stuff, moved to Florida. Life is good. And it's not like a mundane thing. It's every day is different, but every day is not easy, but it's a simple way of life. I just feel like I have no worries right now. I have nothing holding me back. I'm just balls to the wall from here on out.
Yeah.
So mentally, physically, emotionally, like I just feel like a whole new person.
You guys, this is really powerful because, like those two events were both events of letting go of something. And we live in a society where we want to add more and more and more and more and more. And yes, we should strive for more. We should be more. We should do more. The question is the more that we are doing right now, is this a productive more, or is it a more that's holding us back? And maybe saying no to a particular thing or person would actually be more powerful because it's a chain that's holding us back. And for you, it was saying yes to you by saying no to somebody who you noticed was holding you back, and by saying no to a place that was just comfortable. Would you say that there's any other moments?
Trying to think. Well, I mean, just in general, the move was stressful.
How long have you been here? What is it, like almost 2 months?
Almost 2 months. But I remember like last year we had the live event and we were talking about our goals, and I set my goal that I wanted to leave California within the year. Sell my house, come here, work for you guys full time, be like, I think I was predicting I was going to be captain for X Endurance, as you know, we're all affiliated with X Endurance, and I hit all that in 3 months. Like, I hit all those goals in 3 months, and that to me like says to me that you can do anything you set your mind to, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you, as long as you keep going a little bit every day. Just keep pushing forward. Like, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Like, don't get into anybody else's business. Just keep your eye on the prize, and if you want something, put it out there, and it's gonna happen.
So let's talk about this concept of stay in your lane. Like, you hear me say this a lot. You're saying it. The reason why we have these conversations is to really inspire and to humanize the process. Like, we are all ordinary people who just, are highly inspired and highly motivated to achieve a fulfilling life, full of, just positivity. Did you, when you were in the process of cutting the cords, because like, you make a decision, but it is a process because it involves like either the elements of other people and their reaction, or the elements of selling a house. Like, I remember for you, it was like a 2 months process, right? Like, what things came in your way to distract you around those like two scenarios?
My way. Well, I had a lot going on. I mean, we had the Raw, we had the TKC, we had the X Endurance Summit, all going on while I was selling my house, and then I was also still trying to find a place to live, and do all the moving and selling all my stuff, and I just had a lot going on, and it was just like, but I stuck to my plan. I still did my workouts every day. I still checked in. I still did, like, I just kept the ball rolling, even though I still had other things going on. But it was just like, once the house sold, the whole, like, the floodgates opened. And it was just like, I just want to get the hell out of here, like, that kind of thing. And so the one thing that really, like, actually brought me down was the day that I was flying out. And I have 2 cats, and I had jumped through hoops with COVID going on. The airlines are very strict, and I was flying American, not the American way, but it was just like they denied me when I checked in for my flight. They denied my cats and told me they couldn't fly with me.
Oh my gosh, it's like your cats have the same situation
Yes.
as Aaron.
So I had to literally give my cats to my mom, who is a lifesaver. I love you, Mom, if you're watching. She took my cats home, and we brainstormed, got me on the plane. I think Aaron and Sri, I had a one-on-one with you guys that day, and we were at the airport, and I was crying. Like, I was just like, it all just happened. Like, it just, them telling me I couldn't take my cats, it was like, but I just did everything I was supposed to do. And you're telling me they can't fly with me. And it broke me that day. But in a way, after talking with you guys, it was more like, it's a sign. It's a sign for me to get to where I need to be. And then everything will follow. So my mom ended up coming out 2 days later with the cats, and the cats are here now. But it was just like, I was torn. It was like, okay, do I send my cats home with my mom? Like, do I run them to a shelter? It was like all these things were running through my head, and I had very little time to figure it out. And my mom was like, I'll just take them and we'll fly. We'll find another airline that'll take us. And United saved the day. They don't care. As long as you have all your paperwork, they don't care. So I know for the future, that's what I'm flying if I have to fly my cats. But yeah, that was an obstacle. The apartment I moved into wasn't perfect. Still dealing with stuff, but hey, it's like, I'm grateful. At the end of the day, I'm grateful. I have a roof over my head. My bills are paid. I have a job, and it's not a job to me. It's like, it's fun. It's fun. It's I tell everyone I talk to, it's fulfilling. It's very fulfilling. It's not me sitting at a desk all day long, waiting for the clock to hit 5 p.m. This, in this community, it's a sense of pride when I get to talk about what I do. And I was telling you earlier, yesterday I had my car being serviced out here, and they had to have my car overnight, so they gave me a free rental. And the rental car driver, was asking me what I did, because I had Aaron and Sweet, the hat on, I had everything on. They're like, what do you do? And so I got to explain what I did. Yeah, shameless plug. Got to explain, what I did, and she was like, what's the website? And I was like, yes, I did it. Like, it just comes out of me now. Like, it's fun. I don't know. It's my old job. If you would ask me what I did, I'd be like, well, it's really hard to explain what I do. But in a nutshell, I work on Excel spreadsheets all day, which isn't much different, but this is way more fulfilling, and I get to help people, and I'm a product of this company. So it's that's why I'm saying it's like a sense of pride. Yeah, to be an ENS.
I love that.
Warrior.
Grateful. So, a big part of your growth moments, you guys, can be actually letting go of things. At least that was for you in your own transformation journey so far. You talked about, I'm grateful, though the situation is not perfect. What has gratitude had to do with the progress that you've made so far?
Oh, it keeps the negative out of my brain. The negatives, the minute I go there, it's like, gotta switch back. Gotta rework that thought to a positive affirmation.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still struggle a little bit, like, especially like right now I just started doing the 75 hard. I'm on day 10. I'm still at the high. Like, I'm like, this is great. I'm in it to win it, that kind of thing. It's not one of those kind of challenges. It's more of a mental toughness. And I feel like it's definitely another thing to add onto my plate. It keeps me, it's exciting because I get to take progress pics every day, which, I'm getting comfortable with the camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm being seen. because I'm posting. Like we talk about this in Inner Circle and in the 10x accelerator program. Like talk about making yourself visible so that you can people know who you are. And for a long time, I didn't want to be. I wanted to be like hiding behind the screen and it's just being more visible and being able to confidently talk about the uncomfortable.
What do you think is different about now and then? Because now you are looking forward to be seen, and back then you were
The confidence. I had no confidence. I did not believe in myself. I literally took what anyone ever said to me, like I took it. And it. You're not good enough, or when you even grow up, kind of thing like that. Negative stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like you take so much, and then you just get tired of it, and just not being surrounding myself in that environment, like being around people that don't want to get out of their own way. That's really like the change, because I would be around misery all the time, and then it just really got old. You guys are such a ray of light, and the community is great, and it's just like I want to be happy all the time. So I'm being happy all the time, and there's no going back. Like I look at pictures and I'm just like, I can't believe I let myself get that bad. And it's just reworking the thoughts in your head, and believing in yourself, and knowing that other thing too helps yourself with positive everything. I watch TV. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to doom and gloom. I'm all about this like positive affirmations. I just started like really liking yoga. So my mom's been doing yoga, and she was telling my mom, like, the fact that she's even doing it is like, wow. She like has lost 25 pounds and then some, just by changing her diet. And I mean, like, I'm rubbing off on people. And that's a good feeling. So
do you think that it's possible to be happy all the time? And what would you say are the like key contributors to you being happy all the time?
Happy all the time. I mean, there's times I'm not happy, but it's very short-lived, and it's usually right around that time of the month. But we all been there. Happy. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Like my mind's like all over the place.
What is one thing that helps you to stay, happy and positive?
My potential. I like, the happier I am, the more motivated I am to get shit done. To like, I have a list. Like, I'm a list girl. I have lists, and I check them off every time I go through something. I check them off. And if there's like one or two things at the end of the day that I don't get to, I don't beat myself up for it. I just put it at the top of the list for the next day. And it's compromise with myself. Like, hey, you did all this. What's two little tasks? Like, you can do it the next day, or and if I find myself not having enough to do, I definitely find something to do. It's just keeping myself busy, but not in a bad busy way. Like, not to stop and like process things, but just I could very easily like go to the beach and not bring my computer. I'm not getting anything done if I do that. So it's also awesome to be able to work anywhere and not be glued to a desk. And that just that keeps me happy. Getting outside of my little bubble. I'm still learning the area. But I explore, and it's, when I find something fun, I'm like, okay, I got to mark it on the map so that I know to go back there.
Yeah.
But there's lots of parks here and sports facility type parks where they have all kinds of different things. And I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this, and I'm going to play tennis, or I'm going to play volleyball someday.
Nice.
Like, it's just, there's so much here to do that I didn't think to do back at home because I was so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it was just too comfortable. So here I'm in a new environment, and it's almost what's the word? It's like I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly curious. What's that way? What's this way? Where's the nearest? What was I looking for the other day? I was looking for an internet cafe. They don't have those here, but they have like coffee shops.
Yeah.
They have a lot of hookah lounges, which I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to go there. But it's just learning my environment and just kind of like, here you can go anywhere in 20 minutes. Like, you can get somewhere different in 20 minutes. And California is just this one big state. You don't really get to go anywhere. But I'm looking forward to traveling, getting to know Florida a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the Keys. You guys went to the Keys. That looks like fun.
Yeah.
Just getting outside of my comfort zone.
So you guys, it's about, it's about who you become in a different place that truly makes the biggest difference. And I can totally relate to that. You ready for the next one? How have you changed since ENS?
Oh gosh.
Like, I'm thinking Ashley 2018 when we very first met. I know what I felt, and I know what I feel now. But can you kind of take us through this?
Yeah, 2018. I was miserable. I was in my own way. I was depressed over dumb guys. Like, a relationship would end, and it was the end of the world for me. End of the world. Depression. But it was I was all over the place, and it was because I wasn't taking care of myself. I was doing CrossFit like 4 years, and then I took a year off, and then I went back because it was driving me crazy, and I think I gained 7 pounds, and I got all not like pounds, like fat, just like my muscles were kind of like not that happy. Didn't have this going on. Had this going on underneath.
Look at that! Do it again. Do it again. What?
I had this hanging down here. When that thing goes like this. Yeah, and I didn't like how I looked in pictures. Like, they take pictures. I don't have any pictures of myself back then because I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I felt. You could see it in my eyes. I know the heavier I was, the more unhappy I was. You could tell just by looking at me in the pictures. And I didn't know how to talk in front of people. I was scared to death to talk in front of people, and I'd be shy, and I'd use shy as an excuse. So I'm shy. I'm good. I'll hang out by myself. And I was one of those bar flies that would sit at the bar and just watch people. Like, how creepy is that? Now I don't even go to a bar, but it's like, it's old me versus today. I just want to say, like, I'm way more willing to put myself out there now than I was before. Yeah, I think the confidence helps. Just staying relevant, like just staying in the present, and not thinking about old things or how I used to be, or ooh, I wish I had this. Just like, you know what? You'll get it someday. Just keep kicking butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Callie wants to say something too? Do you think, because you've changed a lot and a lot of things have changed for you, what do you think comes first? You needing to change or things needing to change for you?
Me needing to change.
Amen.
I needed to. I remember when I signed up for Raw, how scared I was because I had to give you guys pictures, and had to.
How many of you guys have asked that same exact question?
Yeah, and I, when we didn't have the Zoom calls then, we had them after Raw. But even then, it was like if I had to, I'd always have either my camera off or like it was just I never spoke. But as changes were happening, and I was getting things out of my life that weren't helping me get to my goals, the more confident I became, and the more out there I put myself out there, doing lives or posting on Facebook. The daily challenges of posting, your intentions, your intention videos, joining the team. I mean, that kind of put me in the forefront. I had to like get used to the camera. It was practice, like every day. Just the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So now, I just have to like talk my little pep talk before I hit that record button, and then I'm fine. But before I would record and then delete and record and then delete. Just did it a million times, and now I'm like, you know what? It's just gonna. That's just how it's gonna be.
I can totally
not
relate.
Perfect.
I can totally relate to that. What would you say were, so let's get to the mechanics of things now. What would you say were the biggest contributors to everything that you've accomplished so far? And speaking about everything that you've accomplished so far, like, can you kind of like give us like pinpoint to us, okay, this is where I were in my journey. Like if we can talk about numbers just a little bit, back when we met you versus now. What was it?
When you guys saw me at the CrossFit party, I'd say I wasn't quite there. I'm still kind of conscious of what I was, weighing and what I was doing with myself. But that was the year that I stopped doing CrossFit, stopped giving a shit about myself. I started eating anything and everything. I started with you guys, I was at 243. The heaviest I've been is 265. 265, and that was in 2013 when I started CrossFit. And I had been doing boxing, but that was just cardio. It wasn't doing anything for me, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just was doing it to do it. But I realized like I needed a change, and CrossFit definitely changed me as far as like the transformation part, like on the outside, not on the inside. There was no like mind work going on there, but I fell off the wagon. I really fell off the wagon.
Okay, let's talk about it.
April of 2018.
Okay.
I had a shitstorm going on with
another
guy. That ended. And I literally beat myself up for a year. And I gained like 40 pounds. Because I was a little over 200. I think I was 207. But I was pretty lean. I mean, I was taking care of myself. I wasn't doing CrossFit anymore, but I was still very aware of what I was doing. And I had joined Crunch in May of 2018. And I didn't go to Crunch until I started the Raw. So I was paying 6 months of membership and not using it. And by then I had put on another 20 pounds because it was like summer of who gives a shit. And I drank, ate, partied, you name it. And yeah, so when I started with you guys with the turkey shred, I was at 243. And when I started the Raw after the 14-day, I was at 236 or something like I had dropped like 6 pounds, and I was so stoked. I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing the Raw because I want to lose way more. And then I remember it was a slow process. I didn't lose a lot of weight. My number didn't go down for, I want to say, the first 6 weeks. But I was losing inches. and my shirts were getting looser, and I had more energy, and I was saying no to things like alcohol and fried foods, and changing my entire regimen overnight, pretty much. And when Raw ended, I had only lost 8 pounds, but I lost it was over 10 inches. So that was the catalyst that was like, I'm not done. Like, I still have so far to go. And I just love the energy that you guys brought. And so I was committed.
So yeah, at your very lowest, you're at with lowest point spiritually, highest point weight wise, you're at 265. When you finished the Raw, you were at what?
When I finished, I think it was at 223.
223.
Yeah. Where
are you at now?
As of this morning, because I did my 10-day progress pics I do it every day, but today was day 10, so I'm mapping everything, and I'm at 196.
196.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because back then I always wanted to wear Lululemon leggings.
You're wearing Lululemon.
I am wearing them right now, but
stand up.
There they are. I remember I tried them on in 2018, 2019, something like that, before I lost weight. I was like, hell no. Dude, camel toe, rolls coming. I was like, this ain't happening. I'm not paying that kind of money for a pair of leggings and look like that. So I went to Old Navy. They have pretty good leggings. And I wore Old Navy till I had a hole in the crotch. And I was like, I literally just threw them out before I moved. And I remember I ordered my first pair of Lululemon from a resale site. They were brand new. The tags were still on them. They were my black striped ones. I love them. They're my favorite ones because they're my first pair.
Yeah.
Now they're too big.
Wow.
And they were a large.
What are you now, an 8?
I'm in an 8. Yeah. So that is something to be like, that for me, that makes me happy. Because if I can, when I get down to not necessarily weight, but inches wise, my thighs have been getting smaller, but my quads are growing. So it's the jeans are a little tight. Yeah. Not up here, just in the quads.
Yeah.
And that's not an issue. That's not a problem. But my waist is shrinking.
Yeah.
I'm in a 30. I was in a 36 before. So
you guys,
that's huge. A 38 at one time. I was buying 18s.
Wow.
Yeah. And now I'm in a 10. 10 in size jeans. Jeans are I mean, I usually buy bigger in jeans anyway, but a size 10 is I've never thought I'd get in a size 10. Because I mean I'm tall. I got some hips and a booty. But the smaller waist helps because they fit better.
Right.
So yeah, it's the what is it? The aesthetics or the what is the word for I'm not necessarily worried about the weight.
Oh, body composition.
Body composition is really where I'm going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so you've been through a few ENS programs. Which ones have you been through, and how are they different from one another?
Well, I started with the Raw. I was in the second Raw, and it was
I was in the second
Raw. Yeah, and we didn't have walkie-talkie access back then. It was Zoom calls for 30 minutes.
Once a month.
Yeah, not every day. It was different, but I definitely liked that availability of having a coach, of having someone walk me through something or show me how, tell me what to eat. Okay, I was I loved eating fat. keto. Like, it was the big craze when I started raw. I learned real quick that it wasn't helping. Wasn't helping my issues. But after raw, I did the Rise Above and then all of the burn zones because we were still developing all that. You guys had just come out. COVID just hit right before raw ended. So that was the panic time.
Right.
What are we going to do? We have no gym to go to. And you
That's
guys,
right. I remember we had a meeting at the gym and we're like, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
While our neighbors were trying to shut us down.
Yeah, it was a stressful time because nobody knew what was going on. And then all the gyms closed and everyone was freaking out because we had 2 weeks left, I believe, of the raw. And I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? Am I just gonna run every day? Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you guys came out with the Rise Above, and it was like perfect timing. And I did the Rise Above. Then Burn Zone came out. Oh my God, another savior! Like the whole Burn Zone series saved my life. And then when that ended, it was like, okay, once that ended, you guys came out with the EUTC. I mean, no brainer. It's like basically CrossFit without paying, that $165 a month to go to a gym and spread your germs. Like you could do it at home, or you could go to a gym. Like back then, you had to think outside the box because COVID was still rampant and they weren't opening anything. So UTC, great, awesome. And then January, I joined the Inner Circle, and I want to say joining the Inner Circle put a little fire under my ass because I was like, with the Burn Zone, it was like, oh, I'll work out tomorrow. And I'll wait a few days. Oh, I'll work out tomorrow. Like it wasn't consistent. At home. Yeah, it wasn't consistent. But once I joined, because you spend that money, you're going to be consistent. Like, at least in my brain. I spend that money, I'm going to be consistent. And I'm going to make this work for me. And it was love at first sight. I just renewed for another 6 months. So, I mean, a whole full year in Inner Circle. Like, and I'm evolving as I go. So it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
You guys, for those of you who are listening, I would love it if you could drop in the chat box, which of our programs have you been to? And if you've been to more than one, then just drop a few. So, I mean, oh, and there is another one that you're doing that's actually very different.
Yes. The accelerator?
Yeah, let's talk about
the accelerator. The accelerator, the 10X Life Accelerator. It puts my goals, like my financial goals, like your personal, professional, and financial goals. You basically set goals for each section and hit those targets, man. Like I had a target of paying off my house, paying off my car, paying off my student loans. Well, that's in progress, but it's like that's literally all I have left is my student loans. So I have no bills, and putting I put 40% of my paycheck in savings and I don't touch it. I basically live off 20%, and I invest the rest. And it's just the investing is a little tricky for me because I'm like scared to death. But because of the way the market is now, it's just like where do I put it? But CDs are okay. I'm learning. Put money into CDs. That way it's safe and you earn interest. And I never cared before. The accelerator makes me care about what I'm doing with my money. And, it helps that I'm, a distributor with XMD. And I have goals. Like I want to be an all-star. Well, it was by the end of August, but I definitely want to be an all-star by the end of September. It's a goal of mine. I have quite a team, and they're all.
Who here is an Ashley under Ashley's team? Drop it. Let's see what programs bunch of you guys were in. A lot of programs. Inner Circle, TKC Raw, UTA, all except Inner Circle. Raw, Rise Above, TKC.
Hey, Samantha.
Samantha Fox, you also forgot the Inner Circle. Raw, UTA, UTC. There's so many acronyms. For anybody who's new to the community, you're probably like, what the heck? Raw, TKC, Rise Above, TKC, Raw, Inner Circle, Accelerator. TKC, Raw, Inner Circle. TKC times 2, Raw, UTA. Nice work. Go get that burn zone in. You guys are crushing it. Love it, love it, love it. Come on, Jamie. Danny, if you ever do the Raw again, you'll see how much has been added to it. Awesome, 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 you guys. Yeah, so you were talking about Team X and the All-Star.
All-Star, that's my goal, to be there. I get to go on the victory trip this year, which is like
in October.
Exciting. It's a month away. I'm doing things that I never thought I could do, and that's like in a nutshell. It's like you can do whatever you set your mind to, and if you put it out there, it's gonna happen. Everything I've done so far, I've put it out there, and I've said, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna do this. And you just keep. Oh, I gotta work at it. This is what I'm gonna do. And yeah, like consistency matters. You gotta stay consistent and yeah, don't let the outside noise distract you.
You guys are hearing it firsthand. Okay, I want to ask you one more question. So you know that we have another round of the TKC coming up, and for those of you guys who don't know yet, the newest round of the TKC is coming up on September 20th. So starting in just a little over a week and a half, you can go to erinandsuri.com/links in order to sign up. It's completely free. If you haven't done it already, highly recommend that you join. You're going to see how it exposes you to so many other areas of, just your lifestyle that you don't really care to consider much, and how that affects, your body composition and everything around you. If you've done it, it always keeps on evolving. So join it. If you're already in, drop in the comments already in. Feel free to also invite all of your friends and family members. But yeah, we have another round of the TKC coming up. Why would you recommend for somebody to join it?
For one, you get way more information than you would think. A free program is bare minimum, and you get a lot more than just workouts and a journal. Like, it's hands-on. If you stick with it, like for the 14 days, I mean, you can definitely see results. And yeah, there are prizes. That's great. I mean, a lot of people, don't just sign up if you just want to for the prizes. Like, actually participate and do the challenges.
Yeah, and if you don't participate, the chances of you winning.
Why sign up if you're not going to show up? Showing up every day is literally how you can see for yourself. Like, if you're having a hard time being consistent with anything in your life, like food, nutrition, working out, mindsets off, you're just, this is like a stepping stone into our other programs. And it's fun. 14 days go by so quick. Yeah. And like, you're not going to want to stop after 14 days. You're going to want to keep going on. And then there's the Raw. Like, the TKC is just the pre-runner into the Raw, and it's a no-brainer. Like, you could go so far if you just show up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's literally for anyone that's trying something that's not working, or they're ready for a change, or they just want to check us out and see how much like the community is the whole like part of it. That's amazing because everybody pushes each other. People become friends. Like, it's amazing to see people come together, complete strangers come together and just push each other to reach their limit, like push their limits and try new things.
Yes, Army strong. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. If somebody was to, come to you 3 years ago, like the day we met, and said, in 3 years, your life is going to look X, Y, and Z, like your body is going to feel this way, you're going to look this way, you're going to live in this place, you are no longer going to be hanging out with these people, you're going to be hanging out with a completely different set of people, like, what do you think the old Ashley would have said?
I probably would have laughed. I would have been like, yeah, right, what are you smoking? Yeah, like I just honestly didn't have the belief in myself back then. I literally gave up on myself. So yeah, it's I can honestly proudly say I've come a long way.
Yes, you have.
In a very short amount of time, but it's okay. You don't have to rush. Like, I have no end date. It's going to be for the rest of my life. I'm just going to keep pushing forward and hopefully inspire people as I go.
I love it. If you could have any last word of advice, if any at all, what would that be?
Advice. If you set goals for yourself, little, big, and each day work at it. Every day, like, just chip at it, chip away at that. What is it? The prize at the end of the road, the rainbow, the gold at the end of the rainbow. What is it? Slow is just they say during the workout. The turtles, not the turtles, but like slow is
smooth.
Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Yes, I guess. Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to rush. Like, just take one step at a time, and you'll get to where you need to be. Yeah. Everybody's always in a hurry.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Jen, I love what you just said. Jennifer Soprano, and then Jessica. I think you're coaching with Crystal. Reach out to Crystal and see how you can hang out with us. There's an opportunity coming your way. But yeah, so for anybody who wants to, if they aren't already, if they want to continue following you on your transformation journey, see how are you doing, maybe ask you any questions, about their own transformation journey, maybe some, words of wisdom or whatnot.
You can I'm on Instagram. My handle is I don't even know my handle offhand. It's at
I know it. I'm gonna post it.
At Ashley with 6 Y's 77.
Isn't it 3 7s?
Oh wait, let me double check.
I'm pretty sure it's 3 7s.
I thought I changed it, but apparently I can't. So.
And then you're also on Facebook, Ashley Riddle.
Ashley ASHLEYYYYYY 77.
5 Y's.
So 6 Y's.
There you go.
And then Ashley Riddle on Facebook.
Awesome. Or admin at aaronandsurrey.com.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining
you.
us today. Thank you for who you are, for all that you do each and every day. And thank you for, spending some time with us today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And for being who you are, and, for being a part of the ENS Army. And, like we always say, you already know our mission, but in the case that you don't, we are on a mission to transform the lives of millions. through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. And you guys, if you know anybody who would benefit from watching today's episode, because you're like, man, like they could really like benefit from listening to Ashley's story, just go ahead and forward it to them. Okay, this is what the ENS Army is all about. And then one last thing, TKC Challenge coming your way September 20th to October 4th, completely free. It's going to be the best round yet. There's going to be lots of new and exciting things. So if you haven't already joined, make sure you do so, erinandsuri.com/links. Invite your friends and family members too, so that they can get on the same page as well. All right, you guys, that being said, we will catch you on the flip side on Monday, noon Eastern time, same place. Between now and then, have a beautiful weekend and stay ENS Army strong. Bye. Bye.